Hello and welcome to another edition of the Lynner Down, and we got two special guests with me today, Brandon and his mother Holly. How are you all doing today?
Hanging in there, man. How you doing?
You know, glad to see this guy. I haven't seen him since our football days.
Yeah, I know with Malaya yelling at the place.
Yeah, we both getting yelled at by every 3 seconds by Coach Malaya. Man, we're here to talk about a very, very important subject right now. Brandon is in need of a kidney donation. Just for me, first, just talk to me when you found out about everything.
Well, I'm very quiet, and I started to feel differently when I started doing wrestling shows, and my feet started swelling up. And so when I went to the doctor, they're like, you have stage 5 kidney failure, and you have only 15% left. So that was a huge shock, being like a young age, being like, our age and having kidney failures, in which, I don't drink or smoke.
Yeah.
So it was a big, hard kick in the teeth when you realize it. Mm-hmm. But after you pass that little motion on the road, then you're good to go.
Did they tell you the cause of it? Or
hereditary.
Oh,
it was hereditary. Hypertension, severe hypertension, which affects a lot of blacks and Spanish people. And mine was severe.
Yeah. Mom, what was your reaction when he first initially told you about this?
He didn't tell me.
Oh, he didn't? Yeah, how'd you find out?
He didn't want to tell me because he didn't want me to worry. Mm-hmm. I found a piece of paper, and all it said was complete kidney failure, 15%. And I went to our pharmacist, Sabino, and he looked at me and said, "Is this you?" And I said, "No." He said, "We have a problem." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" So he knew Brandon from picking up my medicine. Mm-hmm. And he just said, "Let him be. Let him come to you. I know why he's not telling you." But I couldn't do that. I couldn't let it go.
Yeah. I mean, you both find out. You eventually find out. What was the process that you all were planning out afterwards? What was the mindset moving forward?
I'm going to every appointment. I'm going to be there because I've learned Brandon was with me through my things, and there would be things that he picked up that I may not have picked up, mm-hmm. or that I thought because of my nerves, and I wanted to be the same backbone for him. I'll pick up with you. And then it was like just a mother's instinct. I was becoming a pit bull. The Kidney Foundation was now going to be my thing, not only for my child, but for anybody, mm-hmm. because I know nothing.
Yeah.
So I just study, I learn, and I go with them.
And your niece, who she reached out to us, she's been your cousin. She's been very instrumental in helping with this. Can you just talk a little about that?
My voice, technically.
Yeah. It's just a lot to handle. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I said, being this young, and I'm like thinking about it now. I could be the voice of the Kidney Foundation because there is a few people that I know who had kidney failures and actually succeeded. And I know my baby cousin has the same thing, but he needs 3 new kidneys. So if I can help out...
In his life, he's only 10.
And so if I can help out with my kidney and his and everyone else's, and just like a match, it won't work for me, but it can work for someone else. Mm-hmm. So if we can get into that and have a lot of people understand being an organ donor and stuff like that, and giving your life is the best thing.
And Lily is also the researcher. Mm-hmm. Lily focuses. If I say one word to Lily about Brandon, she will Google it, figure it out, reach out to you. I had no voice. Mm-hmm. Is in my throat. Yeah. So. It's a rude awakening, and Brandon just had surgery on Wednesday.
How'd that go?
If you have a tube in your chest, it's right here. Yeah. I would show it to you, but
He hasn't even looked at it himself.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him that. And then also, me doing a little research of myself, I found out that 35% of African Americans have living with kidney failure in the U.S. and African Americans make up 13% of the population.
Yeah.
So, and there's a list of reasons why that is. It could stem from racism. Racism in medicine.
Yeah.
And it's just a long list of those. So it's a scary thing too.
You have to have people on your side. If it was you, your family, sometimes you may not speak up. Brandon's very quiet. You know Brandon. I'm the polar opposite. Like, I think when he got the first MRI and when he was in the hospital and the doctor said, we don't do that. No. You will treat him as he's your brother or your son. But what we won't do is we won't just send him home.
Yeah.
And they knew. And the doctor, I have to say, came back with another doctor, apologized, and said, we found something. And it was a lesson for him that you cannot just go by the book all the time.
Yeah.
If you're telling him something and you know what you're feeling, I suggest to people, stick with your guns. They're just doctors. They're learning too.
And that's another thing with medicine too, because there's so many stories of African Americans, male and women. A lot of women, when they go to the hospital and they tell the doctor they feel something is wrong with them, and the doctor tries to tell them there's nothing wrong with them, and then later on they find out there was something wrong with them.
You have to fight,
and you have to get that second, third opinion, and you gotta keep the pressure on them, because some of them, if you don't keep the pressure on them, they could do what that other guy probably did and try to send them home.
Yes, and I'm definitely with Brandon. Again, I will say you have to be your advocate for yourself. Again, he's quiet. You have to fight. You cannot just give in to what they say. They are doctors, they have degrees, and we can respect them. But as an African American woman, as you know, we can be pushed to the side sometime. And one thing you won't do is you will not treat me and those that I care about or love like that. I will not allow it. I may not have your education, but I have sense. And if you are telling me that you don't feel good, I will go to fight for you all the way, and we will find an answer.
Yeah, it's also important that you were able to find out 2 weeks before it got even worse. Because what if you didn't go to the hospital or something, and you just felt like it's just some regular pain that I could deal with?
Yeah, what happened was I took a couple blood tests just for regular physical, and my doctor's like, just go to the hospital, because apparently I was peeing on my potassium. And I was there for like probably 10 days. And for the longest time, they couldn't find anything. They couldn't find anything until my mom said something, and they found like a tumor in my adrenal gland, and my kidneys wasn't functioning because of the hypertension. And like I said, it's a lot to handle.
Yeah.
Just being a certain age, but
all right,
it's
now,
a bump in the road.
Yeah. What is the next phase? He had the surgery. He had the surgery on Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, what is the next process?
Well, the next stage for Brandon is dialysis. Through all of this testing, they found that Brandon has a clogged artery. So that's the next stage before we can move on, because they will. In Brandon's case, they go in through your wrist, and they go up into the heart, and then they put a stent in. But because Brandon is starting to lose such low numbers, 4%, and now not going to the bathroom as regular, which means he's not flushing, they have to put contrast dye in. And they could not do it without the port, because contrast dye is most likely going to cause Brandon's kidney and liver to stop temporarily, which is in itself a wreck for me, nerve-wracking for him. So that's the next step, which again, he'll be back in a surgery room within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And then we can move on to looking for a kidney, and we're asking people to please think about it, talk about it. I'm not saying it's something that you can go lightly, but it is my child, my man-child.
Yeah, and you know we got a couple minutes left, but please let everyone know where they, you know, for any information where they can go reach out or to find out about the kidney donor information. Please let them know the websites and all that.
Do you know the website?
Is it, I think you do.
Yeah, it's www.leahylivingdonor.org. You go on, you just fill out the paperwork. They will ask you who or what. You put in Brandon Langley. His birthday is 3/22/87, and they will tell you immediately whether you've passed the first questionnaire, and if you have, a nurse will contact you within a week. And whoever does it, we really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you both for coming on and talk about this subject. This is a very important subject. And once again, African Americans make up 13% of the population, and there are 35% of people that deal with kidney failure. So that's.
And we need to stick together. Whether you're African American, Hispanic, a minority, stick together. Feel free, call me, reach out. I'm learning, but I'll help you.
Definitely. For those, once again, go to the website, fill the questionnaire out if you want to help. And yeah, you guys have been watching the Lynn Lowdown. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much for having us.
No problem. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks, man.
On a Friday.